Just breathe. It's easy to say, it's said all the time, but it's not easy to do. There's a lot of things that get in the way that stop us from breathing properly, let alone the self-conscious reasons. The physiological reasons are real, and they're actually really easy to get in order. I'm just learning myself. The first one that I found is Kapalbhati. So far, it's tightened my own airways up in my throat. I've noticed that I'm able to throw my breath out a lot more without making noises in my throat when I do it. And if you're doing it right when you start, you'll notice that you do it yourself. I've noticed a lot of people do a much slower tempo of this, but for my purposes, I'm enjoying the more vigorous thrusts when I expel the air. The book that first really clarified what this was for me says that Kapalbhati, in Sanskrit, Kapala means skull, Bhati means shine. Therefore, the term Kapalbhati means the exercise that makes the skull shine. Here, the skull is the nasal passages through which the air passes in and out. Though this is a breathing exercise, it is considered a cleansing exercise and comes under one of the Shad Kriyas, or 6 purification or purifactory exercises. This is done before starting the practice of pranayama to clean the nasal passages and remove bronchial congestion. It will also help evacuate damage done by smoking cigarettes. It's not going to cure cancer, but it'll help clean the air passages out for sure. One should start this exercise only after practicing alternate breathing. The second exercise for 1 or 2 months. I didn't start doing alternate breathing before Kapalbhati. I started doing them both at the same time, so it depends on whether you can get your diaphragm proper. This is what it's saying. This is because with many people it takes quite a time to get the diaphragm to move in a proper way during breathing. A vast majority tend to move the diaphragm in the opposite to natural direction during Kapalbhati. This can be easily noticed by watching the movement of the abdominal muscles. Those who breathe incorrectly contract the abdominal muscles and raise the shoulders while inhaling, which is quite opposite to the correct breathing. Therefore, until the diaphragm takes the natural movement, one should not practice Kapalbhati. So, if you're worried about your diaphragm, there is another exercise that I will elaborate on later, but Kapalbhati is done. A few rounds of vigorous practice of Kapalbhati will vibrate every tissue of the body. At times it will become more and more difficult to maintain or control one's posture, as this exercise is done with more and more vigor. Therefore, it is advised to practice Kapalbhati and Bhastrika, which I do not know anything about yet, in lotus position if possible. It has a foot lock, which will hold one's seat throughout the practice. I don't know, a lot of people might not be able to do this, but during Kapalbhati, in the beginning, you'll feel lightheaded and most likely pass out. You've seen me do it in a couple of videos. But as you strengthen your breathing process, you're able to maintain focus above the passing out period. If you can't maintain physical focus, the footlock will help keep you upright so you don't fall forward, I'm supposing, or damage your cranial vessel. So, therefore, is it advised to practice Kapalbhati in lotus position. This has a footlock which will hold one's seat throughout the practice. In this exercise, exhalation plays a prominent part. Inhalation is mild, slow, and longer than the exhalation. In other breathing exercises, exhalation is longer than inhalation. The exhalation should be done quickly and forcibly by contracting the abdominal muscles in a backward push. Throwing your belly button towards the spine. You're just breathing out. Acts upon the diaphragm, then the diaphragm recedes into the thoracic cavity. Throw the stomach in, the diaphragm is naturally going to go up. You'll also start seeing my throat in some of the videos come out. That's from the upward movement of the diaphragm. Giving a vigorous push into the lungs, expelling the air from the lungs. This is instantly followed by the relaxation of the abdominal muscles, allowing the diaphragm to descend down into the abdominal cavity, pulling with it the lungs. This allows the air to rush in. In Kapalbhati, inhalation and exhalation are done by action of the abdominal muscles and diaphragm. Inhalation and exhalation are performed in quick succession by sudden and vigorous intake of the abdominal muscles, followed by a relaxation of the abdominal muscles. Exhalation takes about 1/4 the time of inhalation. Here, exhalation is quick, strong, and short, while inhalation is passive, slow, and longer. Passive inhalation and sudden explosion of breath follow continuously, one after the other, until the round is complete. In the beginning, a round should have 15 to 25 expulsions. Beginners are advised to practice 3 rounds of 15 expulsions each before practicing pranayama, which is practiced twice a day, morning and evening. Under the guidance of a teacher, you can do 10 expulsions. You can add 10 expulsions each week until you reach 120 expulsions. In each round, between rounds, take a few normal respirations while resting according to the condition of each individual. The teacher may advise the student to increase the number of rounds, but under no condition should one go beyond one's own capacity. So, we'll do a couple rounds of it. That's one line of thought on Kapalbhati. I'm looking for several more lines of thought on this, but no matter what you think, it works. followed by Anuloma Viloma, which is the alternate breathing. The Kapalbhati is going to cleanse your sinuses, your bronchial paths, reset your diaphragm, tone your abdominal muscles, tone your windpipe, your epiglottis, or whatever they call it in medical terminology, I forget. But it's going to tone your entire air passage out of your body, starting from the lower part of your lungs, powered by your diaphragm. It'll completely reset your breathing resuscitations, cleanse the airways. Now you want to set the capacity and momentum, calm things down. There's a lot more benefit to this, but we'll get into that at another time. In through the left, closing off the right with the thumb. In through the left to the count of 4. Close off, holds, retain, this count of 16. Let go of the right side. Breathe out to the count of 8. Instantly breathe right back in through the right side. Close it off, retain, 16. Exhale, 8 through the left. Breathe. Inhale, 4, back and forth.